Howdy y'all! Taheke here and welcome to another adventure! We are continuing in Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. I was not emotionally ready for the last bit that we just did. I'm assuming we're pretty much done with Rods at Han. But oh my gosh. I was not ready for that. They almost killed Matsuya by having him change into a monster. They almost killed the baby he was carrying by having it changed into a monster. And they killed the Satrap, Ahawan, by having him being eaten alive by one of the monster transformations of one of his subjects. I was not ready for all that to happen. You definitely get that world-ending, no one is safe feel right now, which, I mean, is expected, but was really not cool. I mean, I want to say it was cool, but I mean, some really good people died, and it was really sad, and it makes me worry because the whole thing with this transformation is if you have despair, if you have no hope, if you're full of fear and see no way out, you have a possibility of changing into one of these monsters. That could happen. It could literally happen to any of our party mates. Like, if Alice feels down again, and she can't pick herself back up with Angelo or with Alphino or anything like that, she has the potential to change into a monster. I'm really hoping not. I think out of all of them, Alice might be the first to do it because she tends to take things harder than everyone else. Urianji already had his realization moment, which, by the way, he's still on the moon with the Laportes. And I don't think, Alphino did have that down moment at the end of Heaven's Word, or the beginning of Heaven's Word, rather, but Orshipon brought him back to his feet, offered him a nice warm cup of coffee. So we'll see. It is definitely interesting. And by the way, again, my computer seems to be doing a little bit of that glitchiness, still trying to figure out what's going on. It seems to have subsided a lot since I ran quite a few updates and network updates and computer updates and all that. So let's hope that it's to a minimum. Let's keep going. And Matsuya is eyeing you as if there is something he wants to say. As you have finished your deliveries, might I talk with you for a moment? I was curious to know what became of Maven and Karasef's remains. We set them together. Oh, thank you, my friend. Surely they will be able to rest peacefully by each other's side. I and the people of Palakistan will perform the rites as soon as we are able. As for the child, it will not be easy for her growing up without her parents, but I promise to do what I can. Once she is able to eat solid food, the fish I catch will help nourish her. So is he going to raise their baby? That's so sweet. Well, we finished delivering the chai. I do believe everyone has a piping hot cup. I could almost believe there's magic at work. How their tensions fade with every sip. Let us pray that Palakistan has seen the last of those transformations, at least for now. They are still at risk, as every village in Thavnir, like as not. Still, I trust we can leave this place in the care of our friends from the Radiant and the High Crucible. Shall we return to Radz-at-Han? By all means, do not let us keep you further. There are still many who have need of your wisdom and strength to deliver them from this terrible calamity. And I will do what I can as well. I'll bring rations and supplies from Akayali. We have plenty to spare. Yes, but you have to be careful. And let's find a city to be on our way. Where did he wander off to again? Look to the skies. The wakeful Tirana, near the bridge of Radz-at-Han, as I recall very well. Goodbye, my friends. Take care of one another. Keep the faith. Take care of the baby. I know there's a bunch of blue markers here to get the teleport stuff, but I really want to finish story. Okay, well, I could also get that too. The wakeful Tirana. Hi, Estinian. Things are looking pretty grim right now. Alphino told me everything. Full glad am I to hear the people are safe. Likewise, you will be pleased to know I found no evidence of lingering beasts in the jungle and ruins. 'Twas seem we finished off the last of them. Trying times yet lie ahead for the people of Thavnir. Fortunately, they have a wise and benevolent Satrap to shepherd them through. Speaking of which, I received word from Thancred not a short time ago. He waits our return in the city of Azadal's path. Come. Okay. Let's go. 28, 29 this morning. We don't have snow this Christmas, but at least it'll be cold. Oh no! Oh no! No preference. It's still too full! Oh, Rajahan is still too full. Dancred! It's good to see you safe. Given the skies, 'tis all too easy to fear the worst. I am pleased to report that we've succeeded in quelling the threat here in the city. The beasts have all been felled, and the citizens are safe for now. I've also heard from the Radiant that an important proclamation will be made in the city square. Though they say no more than that. Might you have an idea what it's about? Yeah, he's about to tell everyone the truth. So Vitrov is finally coming out from behind the curtain. I suppose we too should hear what he has to say. To make a do to that. But before that, it would appear the word of the assembly has not yet reached all the citizens. If anyone along the way seems unaware, we'd best enlighten them. Yeah, not everyone knows the news that a dragon is about to announce that they've been ruling you this whole time, and you've been cool with it, so you best not freak out now that your Satrap is dead. And he was a good man. Ahawan was a very good man. That, I'm telling you, dude. They definitely give you the whole world ending, no one's safe, doom and gloom feel. Are the beasts gone? I've been hiding, and I'm too scared to go out and look. The beasts are gone, but we need to meet up for this one meeting. Oh, that's a relief. I thought those beasts were going to eat me. I wonder where Vashon is. He is the slowest runner. I hope he got away. Vashon was a simulacrum. He was a dummy. He could be with the others at the palace. Maybe I'll see him in the square. Go. It's a lot of youth. A lot of the kids in here. Well, you're not a kid. Look at me, please. I swear, my flesh tastes absolutely terrible. Oh gods, what are you doing scaring me like that? If we're not quiet, those beasts will find us. The beasts are gone, but everyone needs to meet in the square. The square, you say? That's where the Satrap was killed. With my very eyes, I saw him crushed by the creatures in the creature's maw. So many lives lost, such terrible carnage. And you say there's someone else who would leave Rajahan instead? Whoever they are, if they say anything to sully the memory of our beloved Satrap, I'll make them regret it. I don't know how they're gonna take it. I don't know how they're gonna take it. I mean, the news, not only that their Satrap is dead, and lots of them saw it happen, but that a dragon has been ruling them this whole time. That he was just a servant to a dragon, Vitra. This will be interesting. This will be very interesting. And to tell the truth.
Look! Someone's coming!
Ah! Vashon! Wait, why is he coming out as Vashon?
People of Razathan, it warms my heart to see so many brave, resilient souls before me. Today, I would share with you a great revelation. But before I do, I must make a humble request.
Keep an open mind.
Do not be alarmed, nor avert your eyes. See the one I unveil for who he is, and know that he means you no harm.
We don't want anyone to panic, because we don't want anyone to change, okay?
Very well. I dare say it can't be worse than the horrors we've already seen.
Many thanks.
Is he gonna, like, collapse now? He's gonna get back his eye. I missed it.
A dragon!
Wow!
You guys are gonna make me cry first thing in the morning? No.
People of Radzathan, I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode.
Satrap was my favorite.
Tis as the Satrap's ally I am known. Today, I would reveal the truth unto you.
Let us hope they accept him.
Yeah. I and the Satrap worked together to rule Radzahan. People are of the greatest importance to me. All of that.
If I am hearing this right, you were the Satrap all along?
Yes, pretty much.
Vashan! I mean, Master Vitra, does your divine eye really see all?
Nay, child. While mine eye hath borne witness to the whole of our nation's history, to its future I am blind as thee.
See, this is what they needed in Ishgard. Look how these people are accepting Vitra. You can just see the difference between the two cities. This place is accepting him as a ruler and someone who worked with the Satrap, as the Satrap. And in Heaven's Ward in Ishgard, they saw them all as dangerous monsters.
Countrymen, calamity the likes of which we have never known is come to Fafnir, our home.
He will defend it with his life.
Friends and loved ones have been taken from us. I, too, have lost my closest confidant.
He was your friend. He was your best friend, basically.
Ahawan loved this land and served it with dignity till his dying breath. A nobler satrap there will never be.
Aww.
For so long, I lacked the courage to face you. I will not easily earn your trust, this I know.
You have mine.
And yet, I cannot sit idly by and abandon Radzathan to her fate. A font of boundless vibrancy, this jewel of the ocean. Since time immemorial, hath she glittered with every color imaginable.
So
To
proud of
this
you.
dragon, slumbering in his dark lair, 'twas a mesmerizing sight, and one that brought no end of joy to my heart. This calamity hath stolen too much from you already, yet so long as you live, the light of Radzathan will never be extinguished.
We will live on. We will
I
survive.
pray you let me watch over it. Over you. And lend me your strength, that we might face this trial and those to come as one.
I do not know you, dragon, but I thank you for speaking the truth to us. As divinities, both Manusha and Riga once joined together, so too do I believe that hand in hand, we can overcome this ordeal and welcome an era of peace.
Yeah. The single clapper. It looks like he's been accepted.
A sight that would have surely brought a smile to Azel's face.
Oh, that's what she wanted. Peace between man and dragon.
Indeed.
Oh, I have to take a picture of that. It's not very common that Estinian smiles. But Estelle would have been so proud. Oh! What are you doing here, you turdmonger?
Excuse me, but I must speak with the Satrap at once.
He's the giant dragon right in front of you.
Father,
Let's see how this goes.
You have suffered dearly of late, yet you must endeavor to look beyond these losses to the future you yet have.
He's gonna tell them to evacuate to the moon.
On behalf of the Forum of Sharlayan, I come with a proposal by which you, the people of Radzat-Han, might be saved. I say again, I must speak with your Satrap. I beseech you, take me to him with all possible haste.
Giant dragon right behind you. There's our
I
Satrap.
am Satrap here. Speak thy proposal. All present shall hear and judge.
He's a great leader. Yeah, deal with the dragon, you turd.
If I have given offense, then I apologize. First, allow me to share with you what knowledge we have of the phenomenon responsible for your woes. The final days.
I've already told them that, but
It
okay.
is an affliction of stagnancy and rot, sown into the currents of the star. Though the first prominent manifestation was here, in Thavner, it will invariably spread to every corner of the world. The Forum was forewarned of this apocalypse several centuries ago. Thenceforth, my predecessors sought to prepare for the end times in the only conceivable fashion, by securing a means of escape.
Are we given the option to leave Radzat-Han?
escape the star? What madness is this?
'Tis by no means madness. With the coming of the seventh umbral calamity, the true nature of the Red Moon, Dalamud, was revealed. That it was an artificial construct of ancient Alag. But what of the Silver Moon? This celestial satellite is yet another technological marvel fashioned and maintained by ancient allies. A ship that will sail the heavens and deliver our people from destruction. And by our people, I speak not only of Sharlayan. We mean to save every man, woman, and child it is within our power to save. Including you, our dear friends of Radzat-Han. Recent events necessitate adjustments be made, and quickly, but we can and will escort you safely to the moon.
So they're given a choice. Stay with Vitra and defend the
Long
land.
has thy Forum been allies to Thavner. I trust thou dost not extend this offer lightly. Yet I wonder, is this truly the way? Is there a future to be built for us beyond this star our father deemed the last bastion of hope?
That's why Midgard-Zormr came here when he fled his planet. His star was being chased by Omega. They said that this star was the last
It is for
bastion
that
of hope.
very reason I come before you and your people. To answer any and all of your questions. To offer my assurances and allay your fears. Though, if you wish the best for your people, I advise you to render your decision swiftly.
Okay, don't throw that like that. If you wish the best for your people. What if the best for my people is to defend our homeland? To stop the coming of the final days? He's gonna probably give them the choice. Leave if you wish.
Show our friends to Megaduta. They are to be received as honored guests. Worry not. Whatever decision is reached, your paths shall be yours to decide. Until then, heed the warning of these brave heroes. Guard your hearts against fear and despair, for it is within such fertile soil that the seeds of blasphemy find purchase.
Keep the faith. Be
Remain
hopeful.
calm and attend to your daily tasks. I shall return anon.
We'll do as you say, Master Vitra. We believe in you.
I want to go to Megaduda. I want to hear what they discuss. What is it?
Oh, you're still here. What a relief.
Nadana, you worry me sometimes.
Nidana, what's the matter? Has something happened at Palaka's stand?
Oh, no, not that I know of. I just hope to hear your thoughts on a theory of mine.
Woman, people have died very quickly. You cannot come running in like that. Oh, I want to hear a theory. Oh my goodness, woman.
All who undergo the transformation are drained of their ether, yes?
Yes.
What is it then that gives these beasts the strength to carry on as they do? Logically, they must be drawing upon an alternate form of vital energy. That put me in mind of our earlier conversation, when I tried to explain the essence which many confuse with ether.
The motion power, basically. The one that powers the flower.
Akasha. Yes, I remember.
Wait,
The
excuse me.
unseen gift bestowed from on high.
How's breakfast?
An energy influenced solely by emotion.
Yes, yes. In this instance, negative ones set Akasha into motion, thereby infusing the beasts with vitality. I posit this as the mechanism by which the beasts are born and sustained.
The feeling of grief, loss, despair.
Ah, do you still have that flower?
Of course I do. It's black! It's black! It's dead!
If we accept that it once shone bright by drawing upon Akasha, influenced by the thoughts of those nearby,
flower's gone.
then fear, terror, despair, negative emotions so powerful as to suffocate it, permeated the air in this place.
My flower's gone.
You must be very careful. The forces which drive the final days may be beyond our ability to perceive.
My flower is gone.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you like that. At any rate, I will continue my research into Akasha.
Yes,
Do
please do.
temper your expectations, however. There are sadly few detailed studies upon which I may draw.
Okay.
Formulating a new theory as you have is itself no small feat. I wish you well in your endeavors, and pray you take care.
Thank you. You stay safe as well, yes? Till next we meet. And we will meet again.
That positivity, Donna, you need to spread it to everyone. So the Akasha is the name of the sort of ether, non-ether power that is flowing through the world. I am happy that they accepted him. I am not happy that the form shortly came after. As far as we have come, and after all the horrors we've seen, there's still so much we do not know. There's still so much we do not know about the final days. Could it be, as Nadana said, that the cause of this phenomenon is beyond our comprehension? And if so, are we powerless to forestall it? Don't think like that, Alfie. Please tell me they want to meet me. Greetings, honored scions of the Seventh Dawn. I have a message from His Excellency the Satrap. Brave scions, you have my gratitude for aiding my period built in the most dying of times. Alas, matters here of Megaduda prevent me from meeting you all in person. As a token of mine appreciation, I have arranged for a feast to be held in your honor. May it nourish you in preparation of the trial ahead. Such are the words of Master Vitra. The feast he speaks of awaits you at Mardine's Mayhem. Pray make your way there whenever your business here is done. We thank you for your kindness indeed. I was hoping we might find a place to discuss our next course of action. Seems like an ideal venue. Ah, and to you, Tehega Femkur, there's something he hoped to introduce to particular. While I am loath to detain you further, might you spare a moment of your time? A personal invitation knowing full well your services are the highest demand right now, this must be important. Worry not. We'll save some food for you, so take all the time you need. Okay, let's go meet this person. Bye, guys! Thank you, friend. Whenever you're ready, please join me at the Aetheryte Plaza. I shall go on ahead. So he wants us to meet someone. I'm gonna cheat and use it. is. This place is huge and extremely confusing. Oh, they do that on purpose, so you have to run to it? How lame. Okay. Whee! Made it. Excuse me, I need to speak to the person behind you. Access ether rate you see there has been restricted to select few ever since the tower first appeared. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience, but it was deemed too dangerous to permit the free movement of visitors at the time of an emergency. A risk we could not take. In light of recent developments, however, the Satrap has decided that such restrictions would only hinder our efforts to combat the final days. As such, I would encourage you to attune to the ether rate before proceeding along the corridor. Finally! I don't know how you can just turn off an ether rate, but they did. You must be wondering what this place is. You stand at the Hall of the Radiant Hosts, from where our leadership oversees all of Radza Han's military operations. Satrap, our destination, lies just ahead. What is it that they want to show me? Buldan delegate, Lemosian delegate, Gridanian delegate, Alamegan delegate, Doman delegate. Why are there so many delegates here? Oh yeah. Welcome to Satrap. Without further ado, allow me to introduce you to all my friends. Oh, if it's not the famous Taheka Fen-Kur, I knew it. The moment you stepped through the door, you're the look of one who's walked through hell. Sirabat, please, you're speaking to Satrap, honors guest and savior of our people. Not show a modicum of respect. What disrespect is there in paying a fellow warrior a compliment? We're all friends here, or we'll soon be enough. More formally then, for the benefit of our countrymen, it's a pleasure to have you with us, oh great champion of Eorzea, scion of the Seventh Dawn, warrior of light, and all-round good egg, I'm sure. I like you. What is this place? Who are you? This talk of eggs reminds me I'm late for dinner. Who are you? Yeah, what are all these people here? A fool with too many scars and knees that ache in the winter. The name's Shirabat, and I attend to business here. And for what sort of business? How can I put it? Radza Han welcomes delegates from other lands to oversee trade and diplomatic dealings. Then there are military matters to discuss, which is why all of these officers are stationed here in Satrap. I imagine you're more familiar with each of the nations they represent, yes? I see an Ishgardian representative there. Kagane, or Gadoma. Nice to see you too. Buldan Alamigo. Hi guys. Lim Solaminsa. Hi. Gridania. Hello. And last but never be least, Ishgard. They're the eyes, ears, and mouths that bridge the distance between Radza Han and their respective homelands. Hello to you too. We've used this brief respite to share the details of our plight with their overseas counterparts. And wouldn't you know, all their leaders requested a few words from you specifically. You're a woman in high demand, eh? And so would you mind regaling us of your own account? Indulge us before you indulge yourself. Aw, but I'm hungry. I have a feast laid out for me. Blah, 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 things happen. I thank you for the report. Conditions under which men are turned to the beast, the etheric anomalies you observed, you have given us much to consider. It is concerning that the first transformation apparently occurred before the skies turned red, is contrary to what one would expect. Thankfully, the information you conveyed to Lucia upon your return from the moon has already proved invaluable. As soon as reports of the calamity here in Thavnir reached the grand companies of Eorzea and our far eastern allies, our leaders knew at once that the final days were indeed upon us and began taking steps to assess the extent of the phenomenon's spread. Our agents were able to confirm that, for the time being, the skies burn only over the Bounty, including this island in Corvos! Alas, that is of little comfort. All throughout Allied lands there have been reports of people transforming into hideous beasts, but they've been subdued, I'm guessing. because that's how they have to do it. From what little we have learned, these incidents are similar in nature to that involving this merchant called Zal. As was the case here, the victims underwent a change prior to the heavens being set ablaze. And so while the burning skies have yet to manifest beyond the bounty, the transformations do not appear to be subject to any similar restriction. If anyone anywhere overcome by despair or concern, then nowhere is safe. That's the side of it. Speaking of which, we ought to give these creatures a name, don't you think? We call them the Blasphemy. Here at Rod's at Han, we've taken to calling the first change, which tends to be the biggest, Blasphemy. As fitting a name as any, to ensure clarity of future communications, we shall urge our comrades to adopt this terminology. Our leaders have taken measures to deal with the threat to the best of our ability. Why, are you trapping people or something? Each nation has assembled their own group of lead soldiers to put down these so-called blasphemies and their spawns as soon as they appear. At the same time, they are doing all in their power to put the people's minds at ease and prevent panic and fear. That said, brave souls with the strength and courage to expel these terrible fiends are not easily found. Just so, it is that very reason we turn to you. Pray lend us your strength and help us slay the blasphemies that plague our homeland. I'm a little busy, guys, trying to stop the final days and everything. Now, you don't have to give your reply before dinner. I should also mention each blasphemy has widely different characteristics. What works well against one may serve poorly against another. So before you go rushing off to save everyone's day, have a word with your delegate. He'll tell you what to expect. And with that, I do believe our friend here has a feast to attend to. Spare thought of us while you're tuckering into the fine cuisine, eh? You've gained access to role quests in Endwalker. A separate quest line and story is now available for tank, melee DPS, physical DPS, physical range DPS, magical range DPS, and healer. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 nations, though. To undertake these quests, speak with any of the delegates in Satrap and agree to help defeat the blasphemies that plague their respective homelands. Okay, so we've unlocked role quests. That's going to be something to do later on down the road. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And this is something we're going to be doing later on down the road. I don't need to do this now because I want to finish MSQ. Pray forgive Shurabot's her rudeness, but she can be a bit boisterous at times. It is simply her nature. Anyway, my apologies for keeping you from your hard-earned rest. Will you be returning your companions, yes? You know the way to the Mayhain. I have a terrible sense of direction. Truly, a remarkable weakness for such a well-traveled adventurer. It's true, though. Anyway, you either use Ethernet or go by foot via the Etherite Plaza. From there, across the Balsham Bazaar, continue down the passage, you'll find yourself right in front of the Mayhain. When you arrive, pray request the drink of your choice. Murdaugh says that tonight it's on the house. And with that, I must return to my posts. On behalf of the Radiant hosts, I thank you and your friends once more for lending your strength and courage. Shiraz at Han are time. We shall endeavor to fight the good fight in the end, and we honor Ahawan's legacy and serve Master Victor well. You have my word that your efforts will not be in vain. So it looks like magical range DPS goes to Ishgard, because the Ishgard one is the only one available. But that's going to be for later. I am not doing that now. For now, I said go to the Etherite Plaza first. Oh, or you can just go straight here. For now, what we're going to do is we're just going to continue story. Hi, people. Milil, welcome. When the Satrap asked us to entertain a party of honored guests, I was wondering who it might be. This is a lovely surprise, to say the least. By the way, I heard about Kalzal from your friend Grahatia. I understand there was nothing that could be done, but I was heartened to hear he meant us no harm. I cannot thank you enough for dispatching the beast. As the smallest token of our thanks, your food and drink tonight are Mardine's treat. Speaking of which, what shall I start you off with? A glass of your finest local spirits. Get me drunk. I've had a day. As you wish, pray join your friends and I'll bring you your drink. Alfie, why are you sitting alone? Forgive me for not wanting to make a toast. My throat is utterly parched. Yeah. Oh, here you go. Welcome back. Whatever did the radio want with you, pray tell? These things are popping up everywhere and they want me to fight for them. Our allies have sent military delegates. That's news to me. Mind sharing the details? Yeah, so these things are popping up everywhere, but they don't have red skies yet, and now they're my job quests, and now I'm gonna have to go and take care of them.
So blasphemies now plague all the realm.
Yes.
It will only get worse if what Father said is true, as it did in Amarot.
Don't lose hope, Alfie.
If that's our model, then shouldn't we expect the effects to grow more severe as it feeds off its own spread? As if people transforming into those monstrosities wasn't bad enough. If the flora and fauna, if the land itself turned against us.
No one would survive.
Ooh, what is that drink?
Here's your order, friend.
Now that's a drink. Oh.
May you find comfort in these dark times.
I see Graha also went for the hard stuff.
Where do we go from here? If there's one thing we've learned, fighting blindly and simply reacting to what comes will accomplish nothing. We must find a solution that addresses the fundamental cause. Before our strength is exhausted, before this crisis spirals out of control.
It's already spiraling, girl.
Is there something, anything we've overlooked?
If there is an answer, Hydaelyn herself will have it. 'Twas she who bound Zodiac and forestalled the final days. Alas, we have heard naught from her since the Tower of Babel. Whether she cannot or will not speak, I can only speculate. Even the flower she gave us is no more.
Turn to dust. In our time. Oh yeah, the Elpis. It would best remember the name. The flower's name is Elpis.
So advised the Watcher. What could be the significance of that name? It is entirely unfamiliar to me.
The first? Graha?
To me as well. It meant something to the ancients, though. In our time.
Most surely. Yet I do not recall a single mention of it in the records of Anida.
Another dead end. And quite literally. It's not as if there are any ancients living we could go and ask.
There are the Shades back in Amarot.
Not alive as such, but not quite dead.
Amarot. The first. If it still stands.
Elidibus.
But Elidibus is
I
dead.
sealed him in the White Auracite at the Crystal Tower back on the first.
Elidibus isn't dead?
Contained within that reservoir of ether that maintains it, ether that is returned little by little to the sea, naught may remain of his soul. However, if part of it lingers, we might be able to speak with him there.
Elidibus lives.
I know we can no longer make that journey, but you, my friend, still can.
Good, I was really hoping they'd send us back to the first. It's worth a try. It would be an opportunity to look on the others as well, if there's really no one. I want to know what happened to Reen.
Thank you, my friend. That would mean much to me.
He left behind
If
so
nothing
many
else, should we learn the first is safe, we'll have that much more reason to keep fighting the good fight.
I'll check up
That
on Reen for you
said,
too.
the odds are not in our favor, to say the least. Which is why we're fortunate to have Urianger up there on the moon, working hard to make all the necessary preparations for our departure, should it come to it.
And why we have nothing to lose by staying the course till the last instant.
Indeed. To the last, let us all do what we can. I will consult with Master Matoya and see if she knows of a way to reach Hydaelyn from the ethereal sea.
And I will visit the nation's leaders and attempt to ascertain how far the final days have progressed elsewhere.
Keep me abreast of your findings. I can seek out and slay the worst of the immediate threats. if only to slow the spread.
Splitting up.
Unease, terror, despair. Try as we might to suppress them, these emotions will return to harry us time and time again. But when they do, remember this. Your friends and loved ones are out there somewhere, sharing in your struggle. You are not alone.
This is a good message.
So ends the brief respite before the next revelation.
I just finished this chapter, basically.
Yes, so much left for you to see.
I didn't know Elidibus was still alive, like, technically.
Where beginning ends, and end begins.
So we never actually killed Elidibus, we just trapped him in White Orsite. So the only ones who actually died... So there's still a Sundered alive. Or an Unsundered alive, because, hold on. La Habrea died. He's dead, because not only was he... Was he trapped in Orsite? No, he was killed by, Was he killed by Thoradin? La Habrea was killed. And we found out it's because he body hopped so much he weakened himself and made him killable. I think that was the reason why. It's been so long since we've seen La Habrea. And then M itself, we actually killed. We used a Flood of Light and our power as Azam to kill him. At least I thought we killed him. Maybe he's not actually dead? Maybe he's just in ether? And then we have Elidibus, who again, I thought we actually killed. I thought we trapped in White Orsite and killed him. But really, all we did was trap him in White Orsite as his soul slowly returns back to the Etheric Sea. So that little him that we saw was actually him. Well, okay. Okay, Thancred, let's finish this up. Now then, is there anything we've forgot to mention? Are your arms and armor in good order? I am ready. In that case, it's time we each attend to our task. And when you arrive to the first, give my regards to Reen. Tell her I miss her. Oh, Thancred, you're gonna make me cry. Dad Cred at it again. I will let her know how much you love her and miss her, and you want her to come to the source and live with you forever. Okay, before we get on with Graha, we're gonna go ahead and stop there for now. That was a lot to take in. So, return to the Crystarium. Yeah! So, the Razaham people have accepted Vitra as the true Satrap. Good news. The Forum has come to try to get everyone out and tell them that staying is pathetic and not what to do. Bad news. Urianger is on the moon still preparing everything in case we fail. Good news. If we fail, the source falls and all of its reflections die, so Reen and my friends die. Bad news. So I'm stuck in a very precarious situation right now. Yeah, okay, so they're all gonna do their own thing. Ishila's gonna go to Master Montoya. Thancred... I forgot what Thancred said he was going to do. Estinian's gonna go fight the biggest of the baddies to try to forestall the coming wave of blasphemies. Alphino is gonna go around, delegate, and see how everything is and how to calm people down. And I am to go to the first to try to speak with the soul of Elidibus, who I thought was dead this whole time. I wonder how he's gonna, like, project himself. Like, is he gonna be his normal self in his white robe, the little kid version? Is he gonna be, as the Warrior of Light? Is he gonna be as Arbor? Oh my god. This is good, this is good. This is a good game. But for now, we're gonna stop, take a quick break. So until next time, thanks for watching. Bye-bye!